Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. I hope that you are enjoying the Coach My Life Volume 4 pre-launch series. We've had such a fantastic time speaking with all of the coaches who are contributors to the Coach My Life anthology. For those of you, if this is your first time joining us, if this is your first time tuning in, hello. I am your leadership trainer. I am your vision coach, Latoya Early. I am here serving leaders and coaches in their purpose. I am also the founder of Chase Great Enterprises. We are a coaching and training resource for personal and professional development. And tonight we are talking to one of the Coach My Life anthology co-authors. One of the benefits of being a Chase Great certified niche specific coach here at Chase Great is you get the opportunity to partner with us as we collaborate and we join you and we create a book. And so we've been launching the Coach My Life anthology since 2018. I originally started the anthology, number one, to give the coaches the opportunity to become published authors, right? We have a lot of new coaches in our community. We have a lot of startup coaches in our community. And one of the things that we truly enjoy doing is supporting our coaches and helping them with the platform, right? When you first start your business, we always find ourselves in a marketing frenzy because it's a multiple reasons why you could be in a marketing frenzy, but one of them is not having a shared or collaborated platform. And so the Coach My Life anthology is all about sharing the Chase Great platform with our coaches so that we can really get them out in front of their specific ideal client. So tonight we're going to talk with one of my favorites. Y'all know I say it every week because I believe that all of our coaches are my favorites. I do. But in particular, this coach, let me tell you, her tenacity, her perseverance, even her getting on the call today, she just changes the game. Like she makes me feel like I'm lazy. Listen, y'all, she makes me feel like I'm not doing enough. Okay. So listen, without further ado, we're going to bring our business success coach, Coach Pat, to the stage. Hello, Coach Pat. How are you this wonderful evening?
Hello. I am awesome. Thank you so much. Very good. Glad to be here with you.
Yes, thank you so much for pushing through and joining us on tonight. Before we jump into the let me see. Before we jump into what we can expect in your chapter of the book, I would love to give you just the platform and the opportunity to go ahead, introduce yourself, tell the audience who you are, what you do, and the problem you solve for your clients.
Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Coach Pat Pearson. I help professionals turn their passion into multiple streams of income, helping them to create publish customized planners and journals through my coaching process. I do this with a lot of new entrepreneurs who are looking to start businesses. During the coaching process, we find out that they may not necessarily know what business they want to go into. So publishing a planner or journal is an easy step for them to start in. I've actually, my chapter is going to be about my journey as a dualpreneur. I have been a dualpreneur for many years, and I'm going to be sharing in the chapter the journey that I've taken. It's like a roadmap. A lot of times when people go on a journey, they need a map or they need MapQuest. Well, that's what my chapter is going to be about. It's going to be a MapQuest to anyone that's looking to become a dualpreneur. Dualpreneur meaning working a full-time job in addition to working your business.
I love it. One thing that really makes me excited about what you do, Coach Pat, is working with dualpreneurs. For those of you and Coach Pat definitely did a great job with explaining that. But you know, you're working your 9 to 5 and you're working your business. You're working your business, and you may feel like, how do I balance them both? How do I get the most out of my business while working a 9 to 5? I believe you have training, Coach Pat? Is it product to profit?
Pro, pro, product
Profit.
to profit. Yes.
Okay, so she has this fantastic training where she teaches you how to take your intellectual property and turn it into a product. So if you're a small business owner and you're like, listen, I need to figure out how do I maximize my business? How do I maximize my income? This is the type of coaching that you want to receive from Coach Business Success Coach Pat. And so, Coach Pat, we have so many different we have three major areas in the Coach My Life anthology. We have Coach My Lifestyle. And for those of you who don't know, our network is divided into three major areas, three major pillars: Coach My Life, Coach My Lifestyle, Coach My Leadership, and Coach My Business. And so Coach Pat is one of our business success coaches supporting small business owners. And so over the course of the past few weeks, we've talked to I think we've talked to majority Coach My Lifestyle coaches. So this is our first time having a business conversation where we're now focusing on the growth and the development of your business as a professional. So Coach Pat, when we talk about your chapter, can you share what can the readers expect to gain from reading your chapter about dualpreneurship?
The readers can actually expect to, like I said, I'm going to take you through the journey that I've taken being a dualpreneur, working full time in addition to building a business. I'm going to share with you not only the positives, I'm going to share with you the negatives as well. And my goal is in the chapter is to give you all the information, give you all the directions, as I mentioned, the roadmap, give you all of the tools that you need to be able to make an informed decision if this is the pathway that you want to take. Because being a dualpreneur is not for everyone. There are a lot of pluses and minuses on both sides. But if you're informed and you know what's ahead, it makes it a little easier to make a decision whether you want to jump into this full time or continue to maintain what you're doing now.
Would you mind sharing some reasons why business owners may prefer to stay as a dualpreneur?
Um, well, reasons why you want to stay as a dualpreneur. First of all, there's many benefits to being a dualpreneur because when you're working your 9 to 5, there are tools and trainings that you get from your 9 to 5 that are free to you. Whereas as a dualpreneur, this is something that you would have to pay for. So that's one of the benefits. Of course, nice paycheck is good too, because I believe in multiple streams of income. So I don't want to let that go yet. And of course, there's the benefits of insurance. Insurance, of course, is one of the biggest benefits because insurance is very high. When you leave your job, insurance is very high. So you have to be prepared for that chunk of money that if you're building your business, you're going to have to pay that on your own. I mean, there's just so many different areas that you learn time management. One of the key things you also learn is building relationships with your clients, building relationships with your coworkers. This helps you with your business because when it's time for you to build relationship with your clients, you already understand the practice.
I like that you brought up on the job training for your business. And we talk about the different variations in language. Some people, you may consider it a side hustle. Some people may consider it, a side gig. I am not a believer of side hustles because I don't believe that God gives us a gift that we should use as a side hustle. When you think about a hustler, you think about, well, when I think about a hustler, I think about the DVD man back in the day. They used to try to sell me
Mhm. Yeah.
burnt DVDs, right? And so I laugh at it now, but it's important because although you're working a 9 to 5, you can still honor your business. You can still show up and serve the people that God has called you to serve in your business. And so Coach Pat is definitely an amazing coach who can support you as you adjust to, like she said, time management, learning how to work your 9 to 5 and work your business at the same time, and being confident in the product that you're delivering through your business. So I definitely appreciate that. So you talk about the dualpreneurship in the chapter. One of the things that that is provided in the chapter as well are coaching steps.
Mhm.
What are some, if you can just kind of step back for a minute, and when you think about the dualpreneur and you think about how you're helping them navigate in your particular chapter, what are some results? What are some things that they can tangibly take with them from your chapter?
During the chapter, I talk about, actually, I talk about many things, but one of the keys is time management. Time management is definitely an area that you want to pay particular attention to, because you want to, I equate time management with managing money. You only have so much time to use, you only have so much money to spend. When you're doing your budget, you budget your money for what you have, and that's all you can spend. You have to do the same thing with time management, managing your time. Okay, you decide, how much time am I going to spend on my 9 to 5? How much time am I going to spend on my business? Now, naturally, corporate kind of mandates how much time you're spending on your 9 to 5, but there are boundaries that you have to set as well. So you have to know those boundaries. So a lot of times when I first started out, I had my own office hours for my business. Those hours, you could, if I said I'm working Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 5 to 9, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday was devoted to my business from 5 to 9. You have to get that discipline. You have to get that discipline. And the only way you're going to get that, and I also talk about it in the chapter, is if you have a passion for what you're doing. You have to have a passion, a desire to do what you're doing, and you have to have the right mindset. If you go into dualpreneurship or any business with the wrong mindset, you're not going to make it. You have to have the right mindset. And there's a difference between an entrepreneur mindset and a business mindset. Fortunately, today, corporate is adopting that entrepreneur strategy because they're finding out that entrepreneurs are flexible enough to be creative to help them in their business. In fact, I could probably say my last promotion was based on the fact, partially, that I was an entrepreneur and I had that creativity. So you got to have the right mindset and be prepared, be passionate, and be able to manage your time effectively.
I that you hit a lot of key points. The first thing you talked about was that passion, knowing the why. I can remember, when I did work a 9 to 5, I was so passionate about my business. I had to figure out, and I talk about this, in leadership development, so I don't want to go too far left, but this is one of the things that I talk about: learning how to find passion, finding purpose in your professional position so that you can operate at your maximum capacity, not only in your business but in your 9 to 5 as well. So when Coach Pat talks about, being passionate about the business, we have to know that yes, profit will come if you have the systems and the processes set in play. Then the profit will come, but you have to be passionate about it, because listen, I know after a 9 to 5 you may not feel like it. You just may not feel like it, but if you know that your business is something greater, it is definitely something that you can do and really be successful at it. Especially again, if you have your systems in place, your automations in place. If you have things put on a timer, on a system, it does make the dualpreneurship a lot easier to maintain.
Mhm.
But it does require some work behind the scene to sit down and design those systems and processes so that you can be successful. Coach Pat talked about budgeting time. That's really what I wanted to spend a little bit more time on, because that part, just like once your money is gone, you have to be wise in what you're spending your money on. You want to be wise in what you are spending your time on in your business. As a dualpreneur, it gives you a lot more leeway to bring in contractors, hiring an administrative assistant, going on Fiverr and finding freelancers or project based contractors to help you in your business. There are so many benefits to dualpreneurship, and time management is definitely important. And in order to maximize that time, you want to make sure that you are bringing in the proper support to help you
Mhm.
so that you can function like a business. Even if you're functioning Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 5 to 9, I think that's great.
Yeah.
I
And
do. I think that's great.
you mentioned
So
systems, and systems is key. You got to have your systems in place, because
yeah.
if you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to get very much done. So putting those
Yeah.
systems in place is key.
Absolutely. One thing that I teach, that we teach here at Chase Great, we talk about the difference between coffee and conversations and cash and conversations. What separates the two? A scheduling link. So that is very important. If you are a business owner, and I see the posts all the time, if you want to pick my brain, you need to send me an invoice. And it sounds good, but sometimes we can fall victim of trying to generate clients, that we give out so much free time. We're not budgeting our time. Your time is never free. You know what? I've even corrected myself in that area, Coach Pat. When I'm talking to someone, if I'm trying to set up an appointment, I say, hey, do you have a time that you're available?
Mm.
Instead of saying, do you have time when you're free? Because I'm never free.
Right, right.
Right? I'm never free. So I had to change my language so that I can budget my time appropriately, and so that other people will value my time, right? Even as a full-time business owner, it's funny because in the beginning, my family would call me. When my dad was with us, he had no problem with trying to get me to take him somewhere or do something, because they figured, you stay at home and work. You have the time. No. So learning how to budget time as a dualpreneur is definitely important. And so I do hope, make sure you guys check out Coach Pat again. And I've shared this, with our other co-authors. When you visit coachmylifecoachpat.com and you purchase a book, you are purchasing a book from Coach Pat's business. Goodness. You are purchasing a book from her business. All proceeds go back to our coaches. We do not follow a royalty system. Our coaches receive 100% profit from the books that they sell. So I encourage you to go ahead and visit www.coachmylifecoachpat.com. Purchase your book. Purchase a book as a gift for someone else, because I know that another business owner who could benefit from the strategies that are being shared in the book.
Mm.
Coach Pat, did you have anything additional that you wanted to share with our listeners about, who you are as a coach, your contribution to the anthology?
I also wanted to, we mentioned time sharing, but I also want to throw in goal setting. Of course, goal setting is absolutely a key area that we have to focus on. You have to sit down and decide. Again, that goes back to your strategies and planning, and set up your goals. And don't just set, in actually, you'll see in my chapter, I actually show you how to set your SMART goals
Yeah.
specifically. I go through the whole process. Um, Being a dualpreneur is not for everyone, and there may come a time, and I mentioned it in the book, when you decide, okay, I want to give up my full-time job and do this, do just the business. Well, you have to make sure that I go through that in the chapter, that you're actually ready to make that move.
Yeah.
You have to be prepared to pay your business bills and your profession, your home bills, in addition to your insurance that I mentioned earlier. So before you make that decision, I personally, I had at one point was considering leaving my job, but I'm learning now, that I'm gaining so much more benefit from my job that's helping me in my business. I'm not going to say I'm going to be there forever, but I'm not as pushed to leave it right now as I was maybe a few years ago. So you may get to that point. You may be content if you're a workaholic like me, and I'm somewhat of a workaholic. You may be content running the two as long as you're successful in your eyes. Don't look in anybody else's eyes or what someone else may say is successful. It has to be what's successful to you. Are you comfortable with, of course, people will say, oh, why are you working that job? You got that business, blah, blah, blah. Let people say what they're going to say. You determine what's right for you. Again, being a dualpreneur, one of the scenarios I give in the chapter is like riding two roller coasters. You're going to come to stops. You're going to come to ups, downs. You have to do this twice in your job and with your business. So just be prepared and surround yourself with the right people. Surround yourself with coaches like Coach Latoya and well as her team. Surround yourself with positive people, because being an entrepreneur, dualpreneur, can sometimes be a lonely ride. The people that you think are going to go with you are not going to go with you. So make sure you connect, even if it's just one person that you connect with. I always look for my business besties. A business bestie is someone that's going to tell you when you're steering off the road and not just tell you what you want to hear. They're going to let you know if you're going in the right direction or not. So I think that's very important, that you surround yourself with the right group of people.
No, you 100%. You talked about kind of going back just a little bit with when you talk about it ties back together with the time management. One thing that I've learned is your policies, making sure that you have your policies written out, right? Because a lot of times when we're starting businesses, we're so excited about the business. But what I've seen in being and operating out of emotion or out of excitement is that you don't have a standard. And so what happens is you get upset, when people aren't buying, or when people are fickle, or when things aren't working. And even as a dualpreneur, it's even more important for you to have systems in place, because you don't have enough time to troubleshoot every client and every customer. Right. So again, this is one of those contracting opportunities to make sure that you have your policies and your systems in place. So if you do decide to transition into your business full time, it'll feel like you're transitioning into another job. So that goes from the way that you're setting up your accounts. I know that we're familiar with not mixing our personal expenses and our business expenses together. This is making sure that you're compensating yourself properly through your business. If you start all of these things in the beginning while you're a dualpreneur, if and when you decide to transition into full-time entrepreneurship, it won't be so difficult. One thing that I jumped. I didn't plan for anything. I just jumped. I used to recommend it because I was young in the business. I was excited. I was willing to scrape my elbows and scrape my knees. But let me tell y'all something. Over 10 years, I've been like, no, let's backtrack this. Let's make sure we're implementing the systems and the processes, because I understand that people respect processes and systems and it helps you better manage your business. So dualpreneurs, know that it's possible. Know that this book is going to support you as you navigate through your dualpreneurship journey. I encourage you to purchase the book. If you're not following Coach Pat, make sure you connect with Coach Pat. Coach Pat has some pretty cool clients. Okay, I've been watching her. She's been supporting and helping. So while she's helping her clients write books, she's writing the book with us, right? While she's helping her clients develop products and programs, she's doing the same with us as well. Another thing before we close out, because we talk about budgeting our time, and I told Coach Pat, I'll be 30 minutes and we'll be done. And I promise.
Yeah.
Make sure if you are in the Coach My Life network, the Facebook group, there are trainings in there that Coach Pat has facilitated. If you want additional training and support, make sure you check out the Coach My Life network. It's a membership. We have trainings available in this membership. You have direct access to Coach Pat in this membership. Know that we have resources for you if you are looking to connect with a coach so that you can reach your next level goals. Reach out. The Coach My Life network is all about helping position our kingdom trained, right? Kingdom certified coaches. What makes that different than other coaches that you may have seen is our curriculum is Bible based. Our foundation is grounded in the Word of God. Why? Because when Coach Pat comes to you and you're trying to build out a product and you're having a hard time because you may have some drama on your job and you need to iron your mindset out so that you can get back focused on what your business is, you want to make sure that you are connected to a kingdom coach, because the strategies that we provide will take you a lot further, right? We not only care about your business, but we care about your soul and those that you are connected to. So listen, this has been a fantastic conversation. Guess what, y'all? I know who's on next week. I didn't forget this time. So next week, we have our amazing confidence coach. We have confidence coach Brittany Collins, who's going to join us. She's also a part of the Coach My Business category. And we're going to talk about being confident in your marketing. And that's a huge piece. If you are struggling with self-esteem, with low confidence, if you don't believe in your product, if you're having a hard time believing in yourself, if you struggle with abandonment and rejection because of people and you have a hard time showing up in business, listen, you want to join us next week. When I first started my business, I didn't know that I struggled with rejection. I was wondering why I struggled with sales. And it wasn't until God set me down and said, daughter, this is why, because you have some hidden trauma that you need to address. And the moment that I was able to address the rejection, the abandonment, the spirit of pride, all of these things, my confidence changed in business. And so next week we have confidence coach Brittany, who's going to come in and join us and share her contribution to the Coach My Life anthology, and then talk more about who she is as a coach and her journey as well. So Coach Pat, I thank you so much for joining us. Can you let everyone know where they can follow you, where they can connect with you?
Thank you, Latoya. First of all, thank you for this opportunity. To reach me, you can follow me on all social media at Coach Pat Pearson, website coachpatpearson.com, Instagram Coach Pat Pearson, LinkedIn Coach Pat Pearson. Just look up Coach Pat Pearson and I'll be there waiting for you.
Listen, it's something when a person can say, just Google me. Just, I know that's what she wanted to say, but she didn't want to sound arrogant. I'll say it for her. Just Google her. You'll catch her. You'll find her. No, thank you so much, Coach Pat. Make sure you check out, you visit Coach My Life, coachpat.com. Purchase your copy of the book. The books will be shipped May 10th. That's in a minute, y'all. May 10th. Yes. So make sure you get your copy, get your book. And again, Coach Pat, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I appreciate you. all my kisses in love, all of that. And have a fantastic night. Make sure you guys join us on next week. And I look forward to what this book is going to do in the lives of our audience. Thank you, Coach Pat.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.